Hi, welcome to this new tutorial. We will be doing this animated wall in Geometry Notes. So if you're interested, let's get started. Okay, we are going to start a new file. We go to Geometry Notes and we create our new setup. To start, we will define the base where the bricks will then instance. So we are going to create a vertical line that will have a vertex per row, and then we will instance another curve that will have the amount of bricks that will be on each row. I will hide this for a second. We will be using another cube, but scale 0.5, enter, Control A to apply the scale. And this will be our brick. I had a few problems using a cube inside the setup and then using a bevel modifier on the geometry nodes object. So I will do it like this outside. I'll use a bevel. Something like that. That's fine. We hide this and we go back to our geometry nodes cube. We will just connect this. We will bring our brick object info node. Select the brick. To create the first line, I will use just that curve line. To determine what values we are going to use here, I'm going to expose or create a few values that we will be using in the process. Value. We will have, I will rename this to X amount, C amount. These are the amount of bricks per row, and this the number of rows. 3 values for the brick height, brick width, and brick depth. Then we are going to use another value to create an offset per row. Okay, this is all we need. Now we can add some values. I'm going to add just, I don't know, 6 bricks, 3 rows. I will use 0.1, 2.5, 0.2. Okay, so this curve needs to have a height that it's the brick height multiplied by the amount of rows. So I will use a math node here, and I'm going to use rows. I will multiply it by brick height, and this value I will combine to be able to target the different axes separated, and I will plug this on the C value. Let's plug this so we can see what's going on. Without it, this is a 1 meter, but since we are using 3 rows of 0.1, that's the size we get. We have here, the viewer now has a value. This is interesting because we can at least visualize whatever we connect here on the viewer. We will show this in a few minutes. Now the thing here is that we have only 2 control points, the starting and ending points, and we need, since this is the amount of rows we have, we need to resample this curve, and we need to change this number to the C amount. Now we have 3 vertices, and we will have 3 places to instance our other line. Let's add our brick to the scene instance on points, and we will use this geometry here. We need to change the scale. We will use a combine XYZ, and we will use brick width, height, and we will use this on the scale. That's why it's important to have a cube of 1 meter by 1 meter. We can use this scale correctly. The bevel deforms a bit, but I had issues using the other way, using a cube and adding a bevel modifier here. And on the animations, the shading was completely wrong. I will show you an example on a video here. So we are going to use it like this. The gap you see here is because the brick is being instanced on the vertex there, and you have half a brick up and half a brick down here. So if we subtract one brick height, it will be fine. We need to do this here. So I will subtract one brick height, and we have this. We will instance here a second line. We will do basically the same. We can even select everything here and Shift D. The difference here is that we will plug this on the X. We will get our multiplier will be brick width by X amount. We will subtract one brick width, this value, the X amount, to plug it here to resample the curve. And we will plug this on the instance. Now we have this. I want to be able also to offset one of the lines. I will increase the amount of rows so we can see this more clearly. Here to 5. Now, how can we select one row every 2? We can use the index of the first line. Let me make some room here. So we will use the index of the first curve. Index, we plug it here. And now we can see on our control points, we have 5, right? One for each row. And we can see the viewer has a value of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 because the index is plugged there. And that way we can be sure that we are taking the correct value. And what we are going to do is to add a math node here and to create like a checker select. We are going to use ping pong at 1. And as you can see, the values on the viewer are now 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and so on. This will wrap a value and reverse every the value we set here. So every 1, it will reverse. We have 0, goes to 1, reverses, goes back to 0, reverses again, and so on. And we need now to use that mask to move these lines. We will use combine, set position. Now we will use combine XYZ. We'll use this on the, not on the position because this replaces the position of the points here. So everything is at 0 and our lines will all be on the same point. So we need to use the offset that will respect the previous positions and make a change to it so we can translate them. Now I want my control to take in count the width of the bricks, so we can offset by a percentage of the brick. So I will use brick width multiplied by my offset. That value will be my offset here, like the result, our mask on the selection. And now we have a control for the offset. 0.5 will be on the middle because it's half a brick. At this point, I will expose all these values. Here it's 6. I will remove this and I will plug this here. That was 6. With N, we go to this panel to group, and I will change this input to X amount. It's already an integer, but make sure it is, because we don't want fractions on the amount of bricks. And I will change the minimum to 1 and maximum to 20 maybe. That you can change it however you like. The C amount, integer see amount 12, default one. So we change this to 5. Okay, with all our values exposed, we have control over the different settings of the wall. We're going to center the wall so we can have our wall in the middle. I will use just a transform here. Okay, so to move this halfway to the left, we need the size of the wall in X that we have here because we are calculating the amount of bricks and the width of the bricks. So this is our width. I will use a math node. I will take this and I will multiply it by minus 0.5 because I want the result to be negative because we need it to move to the negative side of X, not the positive side. We need a combine to access the values separately. And I forgot to take into account the brick that we are subtracting here. So this is our real width. And remove this from the bottom. And now it's correctly aligned to the center. It doesn't matter the changes we do in the brick width or whatever, because we are using everything is based on our measures here. On the next part, we are going to focus on the animation. So I hope you have liked this tutorial and see you soon.